Alright everybody, so I'm completely starting this video over. I previously sanded down the whole bedside with 800, 1000, and then 1500 and tried to polish it. It didn't work. For whatever reason, the paint, I guess the orange peel is thicker than the paint itself. By the time I get the orange peel down, I burn through the paint. I burnt through in 3 different spots. And I've just decided it's gonna be easier just to basically repaint the whole truck. It sucks because I already pulled off all of the tape and everything off the windows, but I feel like it's gonna be easier this way. I also went and picked up a new gun. So if you guys watched last video and the video before that, I painted the truck with a gun from Harbor Freight. It had a 1.7 tip. The second I realized that, I knew that wasn't the right size tip. But since I'm kind of on a budget and I don't have a lot of room to flex with money, I went ahead and painted with the gun. And since the tip was too big, the air pressure was too high, I had a lot of runs and a lot of waves in the flake. Sanded down all the runs, all the waves, and I resprayed again at a lower air pressure thinking, oh, lower pressure, less chance of runs. I did that and I had a really bad orange peel. Well, I thought, hey, I can sand down the orange peel, polish it out, we'll be fine. It was not the case. For whatever reason, with this being single stage metallic paint, after I sand it down and I start to polish, it's almost like it's changing colors. It like dulls out the paint. So I went and picked up this from Home Depot because Harbor Freight did not have any paint guns. They were like completely sold out of everything. I was gonna buy a different gun. I was actually just gonna buy the $20 gun when I painted the tailgate and the hood with, because those actually turned out pretty decent for a $20 gun. They were completely sold out of all of them. So I picked this up from Home Depot. It was $60. It's a 1.4 tip. It's got pretty good reviews online. So we're gonna try this out, but now I have to retape the windows and I'm just gonna stuff up the entire truck. Since I've already painted the door jambs, I won't be painting them again. So I'll just throw a bag in our door handle, tape off the windows, and reshoot the truck. And hopefully this time turn over. I'm just planning on doing one coat. I'm gonna try and do it thicker. That way, we hopefully don't have to do a lot of wet sanding and polishing. With any new paint job, you want to wet sand and polish it, but I'm hoping if I lay it down good enough, I might not have to for the time being. I would like to just be able to pull this truck out and start on the suspension. I wasn't planning on having to do 4 coats on the entire truck, because I did the first coat, had a lot of runs, sanded that down. I did 2 more coats, and I'm sanding that down now, and I'm doing a 4th coat. So it looks like I'm gonna be ordering some more paint for our suspension, because we are painting the suspension this color and one other color. I'm not gonna tell you guys that, but it's already ordered. So I gotta hurry up and do this today because I need to see if I need to order more paint. I have a month until Daytona. This is gonna be in a booth in the Speedway, so I kinda have to have this truck done. Let's get our windows taped up. Let's get it all scuffed up and then get ready to spray. This is like a warning shot to get up out my face. This is like a warning shot to get up out my way. This is like a warning shot to get up out my lane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the 7. My girl said I'm a dog, but all dogs go to heaven. Thank the Lord when I wake. I've been sleeping like a baby cause I know my paper straight. Another day to the grave. I get it cause I got to. I got kids I need to bang. Thank the Lord when I wake. I've been sleeping like a baby cause I know my paper straight. Another day to the grave. I get it cause I got to. I got kids I need to bang. I've been getting paid. I've been eating good. I've been putting on some weight. If I got a problem, I just call my brother babe. This is like a warning shot to get up out my face. This is like a warning shot to get up out my way. This is like a warning shot to get up out my lane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the 7. My girl said I'm a dog, but all dogs go to heaven. Alright, so I've spent a good 45 minutes to an hour sanding this side. I've been sanding it with 400 and I haven't gotten very far. This is taking forever, even with the DA. I've wet sanded, I've dry sanded. It's just, the orange peel does not want to go away. Like, you just sand and sand and sand, and it's like no matter what, there's still orange peel. It's still an uneven surface. I've got from like here to here, almost done, but there's still orange peel in it. No matter what I do, it's either you go all the way down to primer or there's orange peel, and I don't know what to do. It's like right here, it looks smooth, but you can still feel orange peel in some spots. So I'm gonna use a more aggressive grit. I might regret this, but I'm gonna use like 180 on it and see if I can get it to break it down, and then go through with some 400 and then go up to 600 like I did originally. Because when I originally prepped the truck, I did 80 all over, and then I went over it with 180, and then I did 600, and it laid down great the first time. It was glass smooth. So I think that's what I'm gonna do again, and hopefully it all works out. Alright, well, camera died last night, but we got the passenger side bed done. The back of the cab is just about done. I have to stuff up a little bit more on the inside and get this back side, it's done. The bottom of our back door is done, and then I have here up to do and all of that to do, and the whole cab on the other side. The bed on the other side is almost done, just because I did a lot of sanding on it trying to polish it. So I have a little bit less I have to do on the bed on that side, but I still have to do the whole cab. I started using this. It's a stuff pad to get around like little crevices where I can't really just get the DA to. So I'm using this in some spots, but I'm using 400 on the DA to fully sand everything. And I mean, it takes forever, but I want this to turn out good, and I'm gonna show you guys that you can do it yourself. And this shows you guys even more that I don't know what I'm doing, and hopefully in the end we will have good results. But if I don't know what I'm doing and I make a mistake, it shows you what not to do, and it shows you that yes, I'm human too. I don't do things perfect the first time. I'm still learning, and I'm trying to teach you guys as I do it. So let's get back into it.
I lit up around the month and February. Told him side no electric. It's getting hectic. 777. 777. Yeah. Told him slide no electric. Yeah. It's getting hectic. 777. Yeah. 777. Couple of money in my head just to say they did it. Can't lie, I'm so paranoid and the windows tinted. I own everything around me, you can say it's rented. Not talking phone numbers when I'm talking 7 digits. Earn it by the day, every second minute. Used to pay me none, look, now they pay attention. Everybody say they drip, but I banded it. See them copy all the looks, but I stay switching, pick up the loot.
I've been out here since 8:30 this morning. I started on this around 2 o'clock yesterday, and I went until about 8. So I had 6 hours yesterday and about 5 hours today. And sanding this, the entire passenger side is done, and this whole bed side's done. This cab corner's done. This door is almost done. I have a little bit left to do on it. I have the bottom of this door and then this whole fender, and we'll be completely sanded. But good Lord, this takes forever. I don't know what's taking so long either. It's like, for whatever reason, I'll be sanding, and like the orange peel, just like you can see it slowly getting lower, and then you have a smooth surface, and then like if you stay there any longer, you're burning through. But I have talked to a couple people, and I don't know if I said it earlier in this video or not, but single stage metallic paint cannot be wet sanded and then buffed. I don't know if it can just be buffed in general, but from the people I've talked and a little bit of experience I've got now, when you sand it, the flake and the paint is up on top. So you have your clear mixed in with your single stage paint, and it's got the flake in it, so it's up on top. When you start sanding, you start getting into some of that flake, and it causes the color to distort some. So what might have been just a normal purple paint then is just going to start changing colors because you're starting to mess with the flake in it. It's crazy the things you learn just by doing stuff, but hey, this is why I do it and I teach you guys, and that's why you need to hit the subscribe button. So I've got a little bit more to finish up, and then blow the whole truck off, wipe it all down, and it'll be time to paint. Now, the areas that I'm not going deep into sanding are the wheel wells and the very bottom of the truck. So like the bottom of these bed sides, the rockers, everything that's like visible on the side, I'm going to sand down. But the very bottom, I'm just gonna scuff it up. Because honestly, I don't really care if the bottom has orange peel. No one's gonna lay on the ground and look at my rockers and be like, oh my God, it's not a mirror-like reflection. And now that I know you can't wet sand this paint, that kind of tells me that if there's orange peel, there's just gonna be orange peel. I just have to deal with it. Be able to buff out what I can, but besides that, the rest has to stay the way it is. All right, guys, it is now, last time I talked to you was Friday morning. It's now Monday afternoon. Had a family member come up and spend the weekend with us, but officially have the entire truck sanded down. Went ahead, I blew it off and then just normal wiped it down. I'm gonna wipe it again with some denatured alcohol, get all the fingerprints, grease, everything like that off of it. And we're gonna spray it. Now, last time I sprayed, I had the garage door almost all the way down and I had the fan blowing outwards. This fan right here that's now purple, I had it sitting right about here and I had it blowing this way. Well, with doing that, the top of the garage door was still angled and it caused paint to land down on top of it, and it actually turned the top of the door purple. And I had to get some white paint, which shout out the turbo can. I mean, I pressure washed the door. I tried wiping it off, like would not come off. So I went ahead, went and bought that, made sure the door was clean, sprayed it down, looked good as new. But can't do that again, so what I'm gonna do this time, I'm just gonna keep the garage door shut. I'm gonna spray the entire truck and then wait a couple minutes and open the door with the fan on, blow everything out for a couple minutes, shut the door again. And hopefully that worked. I'm gonna get my gun set up and I'm gonna spray the truck. I'm gonna do all of that off camera because recording, spraying the truck, it's really freaking hard. One, lighting is a big issue. Getting lighting even throughout this garage has shown to be quite the problem. So I'm just gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put the camera down, I'm gonna get it sprayed, and keep your fingers crossed. Hopefully it's the last time I spray this truck. All right, next day, I sanded down the bedside. You can see that line right there. I repainted right here because there was a run. I resprayed the whole truck. Came out great. I mean, honestly, it really did. I can't face that way because there's something in the driveway you guys can't see until the next video. But this came out great. But there was a couple spots where there was a blemish. And right here, there was a run all the way across. And so I repainted this section. We have a very light tape line. So what I'm gonna do, I've read a lot of stuff online and you can lightly buff single stage metallic. I tried to sand single stage metallic and I found out the hard way that you cannot do that because in single stage metallic, it's the color, flake, and clear coat all built into one. And when you start sanding it, you start sanding into the flake and you start distorting the color. So, found out you cannot do that. Now what I can do is I can lightly buff it, get a little bit better color out of it, a little bit more gloss, and not affect the finish. I had a bug in it right here. There's a bug. We got a little bit of a run, but it's all on top, so I'm hoping we can smooth all that out and get it looking good. And if we come over, yeah, that'll just give you a hint on what's in the driveway. Just a little hint on what's in the driveway. And I repainted this entire bedside because there was a run all the way across here. There's a run down there. There's a run right here. And I just repainted this entire bedside. There's a run here and here. Repainted this. There was a run right here. Repainted that, and you can see the lines a little bit. You can kind of see the line right there. And then there was a run down here, and I repainted that. So I took all the tape and everything off. Got a little bit of purple underneath the hood. Found out I covered up my razor in here. No wonder I couldn't find it. But now this is all ready, and I'm pretty sure the truck is dead, but I'm going to try and start it and see if it starts, but I think it's dead. Officially out. So the battery was dead, so we had to push it out of the garage in order to even get a car up here to jump it off. Got it jumped off. I mean, it's not uncommon. It's not a lot of aftermarket things connected to the battery, and it sat for well over 2 weeks. So it's not uncommon for the battery to be dead. But we're out. Not really a lot of sunlight. It's been raining all day, but we're officially out of the garage, which I'm happy about. And this is the aftermath. Super purple. Super purple. Now, like, having the truck out of here, it's not as bad as I really thought it was, to be completely honest with you guys. I thought it was a lot worse. So really my plan is I'm gonna move all this stuff like up out of the way, and I've got some lacquer thinner right here that is made to thin this type of paint, and I'm gonna put it in my sprayer, and I'm basically just gonna spray the entire floor and pressure wash it out, and then we should be good. There's a couple spots like this wall, but to be honest with you guys, I think everything on this wall should come off. Yeah. So, looky there. I knew we'd be fine. That is not coming off because that is what was on my back. So I think with just a little bit of elbow grease and time, I can get this garage looking back the way it was. I have to repaint the door again, but I went and bought more paint for it this time because the top part is purple again. This video has been all over the place. I think I started it almost a week ago, so I apologize. It's kind of been all over, but you know, you work with what you got, and things have just not really been happening my way, I guess you could say. A lot of things have been all over. So I think we might put the hood on in this video, and then I'll close this video out for you guys. Boom, there we are. We got our hood on. God, it looks good. So the truck is wet right now, but man, it looks good. So freaking good. Now, like I said yesterday, I did find out that you can lightly buff single stage, but since I just did this paint 2 days ago, and I just did our touch-up spots yesterday. I think I'm gonna let this sit until tomorrow, and then try and touch up the whole thing. But I've got my work cut out for me, trying to strip the garage floor. I don't know if you guys can even see that. There we go. But it's pretty rough. You guys might have just caught a glimpse of what was in the background. You might have. But you guys will have to stay tuned for the next video to see what's below that. You guys see how high that thing is, right? You guys see how high that thing is, right? Alright guys, if you made it to the end of the video, drop a like on it. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I'm sorry this video is all over the place. It's been a weird couple days, but the truck is finally out of the garage. We gotta paint a couple more things, put it back together. So, if you made it to the end, thank you again. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.